and Vitality waving goodbye to the tank, a career as long as most. And now a flash for that top side. They want to get him set up, and it's going to be ZywOo first in. They do flash off the rafters, and there's a lot spotted. A lot of contact, but the main smoke will deny. He turns their back. It's going to be punished. 3 in total from FURIA, and the smoke's yet to fade. Kyojin and Apex thrust into dire straits. A bomb plant would be great, and Kyojin's been given the task of defending this. They actually re-smoke main. This is great. There should be a world where at least the bomb goes down. If they could just find 2 quick clicks of that Glock.
Vinny's just come over. He's got a full bag of utility here. Smoke, flash, nade.
Looking good for at least 1 and 2. Kyojin, Apex combined to make it competitive. Only Apex playing it from the squeaky side. It's not a perfect plant.
Panicking.
Yeah, he is panicking, and he just pre-fires through the smoke and does find the stray bullet required. Good grief, 5 points of health separating the victor.
Fantastic work right there. A 2v4 was that?
Yep.
That was some wild scenes. It didn't feel like they should have had any stock in that, especially with the utility that I just listed off that was left on over. Great stuff from Apex here. And I'm pretty sure this is either the same pistol as they ran yesterday or almost the same.
Now, I'm not the analyst, but I can say that that Apex just extra second he took to re-smoke main enabled all of that. The fact he could reposition to Squeaky, the fact he had enough time to fight Heaven and then deal with the Yuri swing through the smoke.
Yeah, I think when you take that time, when you're the in-game leader, you want to plant, you want the extra money, right? But he's actually set them up for success with that decision, so...
You don't see this as a USP round. You just go early down the vents and then fight Secret as a swarm, and they are going to meet Vitality through Secret stairs.
Oh, this is going to get very awkward. They're going to be above the headshot angle. If you're Vitality swinging this corner, you're looking much lower. You're looking at the toes.
So if every single member of this 4-man pack hits a head, it's very deadly.
How many did he see? At least 2, right? Oh, shocks the timing. They're out of there.
Yeah, very loud.
Complete evacuation.
Junior dropping down to hell. He's going to just try and convert. And how's this push? Apex is going to pass straight over the top of him. God, there's so much sound in the inner sight. But I think Vitality's response has done enough to at least avoid immediate, fear. They are, of course, fully equipped. MAC-10s will be the perfect weapon to best FURIA here.
Yeah, they've got the key real estate. Up Heaven, Shocks are still in Secret. They have a player over towards CT Vent to help swing and fight for main/vent. As long as Apex doesn't get too greedy with this one right here. He's having a look here, and they know where the AK is right now.
Just don't lose the AK. That's all I'm concerned about. That's where these weird noises are coming from.
It's the only one in play, and he's dropped
it's down the ladder. Yikes from me. That is far from ideal. Junior's going to be holding on. They're just going to bodyguard him now.
Yeah, he's got his grubby little mitts on that one right there. Vinny's gone. Really just Junior who has to survive here. If Yuri can make sure that this happens, then the buy, which is coming in for FURIA, it's definitely coming in this next round. It's going to look much nicer. Oh, Yuri going down to the bomb there as well. Not the end of the world.
No, just funny that he was wiggling towards it.
So yeah, Junior with his AK, right? He's got 5K. If he wants to glass cannon AWP to fulfill his duties as that AWP player, he can do that immediately here, and he will. Gets a smoke as well. So the buy for FURIA is looking much better just with that one saved AK-47. Kit, full set of nades. Vinny is smiling ear to ear, and that's because of the drop, not just because it's a Sunday. I know he's always smiling. And away we go. MAC-10 still for Apex and Masuda here, so they might want to keep it fast. We saw what they're able to do with the entries on this in previous matchups.
Oh, and immediately Keserato has sprung to action. Masuda brave to try and trade and finds it. Yuri's not blind. Good positioning for 2. Right in front of that hut smoke, and the rest of the frags do not come easy. Shocks is kicking and screaming his way into at least a first, and now back to lobby they recede. Heading back lobby, or rather towards yard late, it's only really going to be punished by Junior holding the cross, but the main concern is whether or not they push for that lobby control and info.
Here's the thing, Junior hasn't shot an AWP bullet just yet, so they don't even know that the AWP's on the deck. So if they go to cross this dry and Junior's just posted up, he's not worried about rotating between multiple positions, he should at least have one.
He's looking at ramp though. Who's got the outside info then? No one.
Okay, they've turtled up. Very passive play here from FURIA. They want Vitality to make the next move, make up the sound cue, and Junior's just swung a couple seconds too late. So unfortunately, it will just be Vinny down here for FURIA to deal with both ZywOo and Shocks. There is a smoke to facilitate a plant.
Any steps from this point will be audible to Vinny. Mouth stays idle for now. Project Find Vinny begins. And from the window control, Vinny's so exposed, but ZywOo goes for the plant before Shox calls it clear, and there is a good frag that likely will translate directly into a round. Both vent, and it's audible. Charging doors, swinging it open, they just don't want to let up! Good first, now against the AWP, it's Junior, and he baits the first shot. Shox has this, had it! Oh no, another screamer out of Shoxy Jesus.
Oh, we really need to keep our finger on the pulse of that. What effect is that going to have on Shox going forward in this one? Because that could have been the confidence-boosting 1-on-2 he needed, or would have been a 1-on-3 with all things considered.
Oh, blimey. And I mean, you know, it's hard to be critical when he gets 3 in the round. But let's see this one again. Great first, as you see ZywOo just rushed that plant, but then baits the shot. Like, at this moment, Junior's fired a shot. That's when you think Shox has got it.
Yeah. Oof, not feeling his aim today, unfortunately. Well, at least maybe he is as this game continues forward. But that one right there, fallen shy, and FURIA get their first round. Now Art's smiling. Wasn't smiling after the pistol round loss. I guess they both earned one here. You know, we had the 2-on-4 on pistol, and they still back this 1-on-3 situation. So FURIA are in it. They're in it to win it as we look at Vitality's buy. ZywOo's down to the Tech 9. Shox can purchase on him with whatever he needs. Gets himself an AK. Could even drop one if they wanted to make sure they had 5 rifles. He's bought a Galil. So yeah, ZywOo will get a rifle out of this after all. Quesarado down to an auto shotgun. Junior still with that AWP. Rifles for Vinny and Yuri. And, well, Art grabbed himself one off the ground as well. Can FURIA stabilize here and tie us up 2-2? Important round ahead. Oof, bit of an awkward biff right there. Art having to worry about both elevations. Goes down. That's the opening for Vitality. An important kill to make.
Importantly, it came from Shox. Straight into ramp, and it's just completely given up.
So I was doing a lot of talking right there. Getting the molly down towards the heaven position. Ramp has been smoked off. It'll be up for about another 10 to 12 seconds.
Oh no, if they want to go straight towards hut, dude, there's a alligator lurking in the waters.
Perfect job.
It's the perfect weapon for this. And boom, headshot. 1 for the 1. Bomb now scooped up and spotted into the top side. Junior's there, Yuri in support. And it's a great first frag. Does challenge out onto Apex, gets traded, and now Yuri's in a lot of trouble using that smoke so well. He's completely evaded them. ZywOo in the 1v1, he does bring it over the line. Right down, 22 points of health, but that's the first 2 frags we've seen out of ZywOo, and it's round winning.
Yeah, big stuff here, and the back and forth nature of this one is likely to continue. Just with the approach of these teams, they are doing a lot more pack rolling, right? Yeah. They're just staying as a unit. It's down to more of this trading. It's not the limped out, find a kill, wait, slither through the rotation, find another kill, wait. They're together, they're ready to biff. That one's finished off by 46 seconds. And it will be a force here from FURIA.
There's a lot of passion and fire in the bellies of Vitality and FURIA here. There's a whole lot on the line. Don't forget how stacked the playoffs are already.
To ramp rush, and I think nobody's home. Rotation through the vents. How quick a Vitality on this.
They're so quick. Look at Masuta. He will go down. Smoke arrives. How on earth do you plan to knock him out of the single door? They've got ZywOo set up dark. They'd love a plant.
A lot of nades here. Mollies to help dissuade. Oh, Kojin on the spam. Jeez.
Damn, that does a lot of damage. I know it works with the AWP, but the M4 brings him down to 50. Apex is the one to draw first blood, but that silence will be very short-lived. There's more chaos on the way into the site. ZywOo being hunted. Dancing around the smoke, Quesarado and Shox are having a little bit of a romance. Yet to go down, escapes through the door. CTs are retreating. Just looking to maintain what they can, and the hunt from Shox does come in. But more importantly, at least for the French side, they're just happy to be bringing out a round. Only the M4 maintained as well. Yuri couldn't find one.
All right, well, that's the 4th. I just love the pace, right? This is so different from what we've been getting, right? It has been a lot of slow Counter-Strike with the rise of the CIS.
We didn't really get to talk about the start of the round because normally we don't have to. Normally there's 50 seconds where everyone's thrown outside smokes, tested squeaky, smoke main, but it's not a real smoke, chilling out, testing ramp.
Did they rotate?
Did they rotate? Have we forced it? Always fake drop the vent, blah, blah, blah. None of that. None of that so far.
It's quick stuff, and liking what I'm seeing here, Art yet to get a kill, but still early days, going into round number 6 now, and Well, the buy is a little bit lighter than the previous.
They've got
the
3
force.
here. 3 to contest on the yard, and Keserato's one of them.
Oh, he's made it across. Not sure if they're going to be ready for this one.
Zywu looks ready, but then he often always does. His crosshair placement second to none. And they even mollied him out of position. Keserato, very hot and bothered. Oh, he's found some sort of safe haven. And that is the loss of Junior. That is the loss of the round. His only pistols now. His only hope was that unknown spot.
Yeah, they must have caught him on the cross there to double molly that position, so Keserato's been seen. Now, what can FURIA make out of a round like this? They have heavy rotated towards that lower bomb site with all 3 again. This is similar to what they did with the USPs. Don't think they're going to get the same welcoming party. Apex, he might go down here, you know. He's talking a lot. Looks like top split now. Heaven control being taken. Apex still worried about this push. Zywu and Kyojin hovering around yard, likely to make their attack through main. Can smoke off Squeaky. Apex, this comes down to timing. He's going to make his way into main easy as you like.
Oh, well recovered. And ready for the second as well. Very promising T start here for Vitality, and Vinny could have an element of surprise here, and there's an AK-47. They'll be trying their best to grab after time. Shox is he going for the long ramp hunt? He's got enough time to do it, so if that Vinny hunt does eventually come in and convert to an AK-47, oh, the window's broken, even better.
Oh, saw the arm there.
Shox actually does go down. Yuri was enough to do bodyguard, and so they will maintain and recover the AK-47. FURIA, equipped with 2 rifles pre-investment. And actually taking a tactical timeout. You get 4 30-second tactical timeouts into every map of a best-of-3 series. This is going to be their first here of Nuke.
Yeah, important to use going into a rifle round, right? Just to make sure you really know how you want to approach this one. But is this a round where FURIA, they kind of take the bull by the horns and they go for more of an aggressive maneuver? They're going to get stuck in across the map here and be the ones to initiate the fights? Or are they more than happy to play reactively to what Vitality are throwing their way? We've seen a lot of, top stuff. We've seen some faster plays towards yard, getting that secret control, even pincering back around towards ladder. But you notice that slower pace just against the pistols. You're more than happy to rock with that because you're letting them sit there and stew in their own juices. Not giving the opportunity for those Deagles to find some multis, but the conversation has been had. Freeze time's ticking on down. The guns are out. The double AWPs are in play. Will this be the difference maker here for FURIA? Would love to start getting into some competitive rounds. Very lobby-centric play right here. Utility has been lined up in Apex.
Look at him.
A lot to say in this one. Talking through what they're about to do.
An enigmatic character. Smokes the warehouse. Junior with a flash for Art's peak. Doesn't take it. And Shox has got a safe passage towards that warehouse position. That will force Junior into a more passive stance. He'll have to respect the fact that that warehouse peak can come in, and it's not even just 1, it's 2. That could enable a jump boost. They could boost over the AWP's line. Instead, they just
this is
through.
very brave.
Yeah, very, very brave, because Junior's about to swing in. And Shox is sitting dark. Junior reacts and finds the first. This is the trade from Zywu. Good. And now so much pressure onto that ramp side. Zywu's just flown up the ladder. That's a lot of space to take. He's even dropping the one-way. Everyone look at me is essentially what his gameplay is saying. Showing barrels, nades, steps, Keserato, crosshair drawn, top side taken. Wait, they haven't cleared it? Yuri's been dancing around this site the whole time. Zywu's the one to bail them out of trouble, but it's Art. It's always Art, and he has done it. 1v2, USP and AWP, and the order's almost backwards. Takes down Zywu, flying through the rafters into the second as well.
Oh, using that one-way smoke against them right there for that final frag. That got so dicey on the floor of the site. Yuri, how long was he alive for? We didn't even get to see it from his POV, but he was just dancing around that site box.
The audacity. Fly up the ladder after Vinny had just died, doing exactly the same. The audacity of it all. All right, well, that is Furia's second, and they're going to be in dire need of that. They took a timeout and convert off the back of it. And Shox is feeling it. I feel like he's physically wired into the game. Like he just feels the round loss. It's just like a small electrocution throughout his system.
Ooh.
Yeah, lots yard this time.
Quick.
It may not feel any different, but the difference is there, and Art is too. A gap in the smoke, a missing one. And these orbs are having a field day, Chad. A gap in the smoke, 2 bodies dropped. They have got across the vents. K-Serato's on a very fast flank. Art's already responded in kind. It is ZywOo after all.
If he could get back up and go to ramp with his teammate, maybe we're talking, but this all comes down to the fight with Shox here, and he's not looking.
Yeah, gets tagged to the USP. It's the perfect weapon for the job, Junior. He's gone down. So now, well, I still can't help but feel that this hinges on ZywOo. Shox is going to be a component for sure, but with 5 HP, may just want to hold this territory as best he can, just being that canary in the coal mine for this ZywOo project. Now, full util as well. Oh, and a little cheeky bit of info as the decon door is swung open by Vinny. They don't have info about that ramp push. They don't know if ZywOo slipped the net. That's what that door swung open in pursuit of. It enables a really passive line onto Shox. One tap of the M4, and this is a 3v1. Good smoke. ZywOo starting to deploy his util. There isn't a gap, it seems. Vinny's hunting for one, can't find anything. Looking for the plant. Vinny to contest, Vinny to contest. Oh, it's so good. Just as ZywOo tries to get it down, and now Shox is asked to do a 1v3. Not to beat. We will see 5 for Vitality and a third foul now for Furia. They string together 2 defensive rounds. That will start whittling away at what Vitality can present. 6 grand on Masuta, but we do see 3 players in that uncomfortable 3 grand region. And I mean, Chad, am I wrong in saying a missed smoke? There's absolutely no reason to leave one of the 3 out, is there?
I know that Vitality in the past have liked to condition by throwing the opening smoke and maybe a second, because what normally happens, right, or what you're hoping happens is they see the smokes landing and they just start rotating, right, because they figure they can't contest. And then as you're swinging dry, their backs are turned, they're running away, they're not ready for that type of a fight, and you can walk away with a frag there. I didn't quite see if anything was thrown out to destabilize or to disrupt that smoke wall. But it wouldn't be too out of Vitality's playbook for them to go for a maneuver like that one.
Well, they're certainly not going to be complaining and posting 5 already here on Nuke T's side. Don't forget, this is Vitality's map pick. And they've got that defensive cushion awaiting them. They'll be placing their bottoms on that shortly. We've got another 6 here on the attack. But keeping it level is a great place to start. K-Serato completely throws the equilibrium out. And now another double. Make it triple. Art puts 2 down with the MP7.
Gets an upgrade out of that one if he wants.
Yeah, but the rest of the round is just going to fall apart. What's Apex to do? Spotted out, flashed out, unloading his mag. K-Serato, the frag, and there you have it. Furia closing the gap.
And in a clean fashion, right? We've seen a lot of clutch scenarios in this game so far, and we've only had 9 rounds played. That's a very important round right there to weather the storm against, because if it was close and the bomb went down, we're looking at another, maybe 1-on-1 or 2v2 situation, then maybe Vitality buy again because they know they can stay on top of this Furia economy. Right now, you've been humbled. You've just lost a clean one. You now know you have to go down to the half bar with the pistols, which is what we see going on here.
Yeah, and you're going to get bopped by AKs as well.
Yeah, it's a rough pill to swallow. Protocol utility out, just stopping any early business as Art over towards Yard with that AK-47. Junior, I think a bit of a crossfire here in case anybody slips the net.
Oh, Junior's had a bit of an oopsie there. Nothing to complain about, though.
All works out in the end. Okay, so Vitality, right? We've seen them go for these faster yard plays. We've seen the L-block smoke into the warehouse creep, where ZywOo was the madman up the ladder. That's the one that Art stole away from them in the 1v2. So if they want to go back to doing something similar, they can, right? When you lose a round in that fashion, still something that's in your arsenal. You know that you won to an individual play and not the overall round itself. No AWP on the T side again, so Vitality back in with the 5 AKs.
Nothing. Just reading a tweet from Forex Sugar.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Does he have any new words for us?
No. Just one follower and one following.
No, I'd like the word ostentatious.
Yeah.
I don't think I hadn't known that one before.
It's nice to see people whipping out the thesaurus to insult you.
Well, this is more of what we're used to, isn't it? Slower approach. Rotations have come in on their own. Art's already down towards the lower bomb site. Going to come up through Secret here to peer towards Yard and call it clear. And in the meantime, more Vitality lining up their utility.
Yeah, so is Apex throwing one for the inner side?
It could be the windows, so they're doing the deeper smokes.
Yeah.
Junior's about to be smoked on off. Main smoked off as well.
Art is in prime positioning, that was the word I was looking for. And they are pushing into Vinny. Now, one headshot's great. Not dying is better. He just fires off the warning shots, as does Junior, but it does forego ramp control.
They want to take this back. Art's here. They're going to push on up.
ZywOo fancies his chances on the push. Ooh, Masuta spotted. The swing from ZywOo's good. He's anticipating another. Vinny is there, and ZywOo's better. 2 entry frags provided by the star of the Vitality show, and already looking at the positioning, they're going to start their rotate through vents. Shox was there to try and cage them, but they have got through, or at least I say they, it's K-Serato. Junior's above him, might want to consider this if they find one early, and that's if. Otherwise, there's so many resources into this low site. Yeah, it looks like Junior's already planning to scarper away, while they keep hold of the AK-47, the AWP, and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I think here Yuri and K-Serato will hang around, see if they can get any exits. There's enough money for them to go to for a buy in the next, whereas Junior with the AWP, a little bit more pricey weaponry right there. Prized possession, as it were. Squeaky swung on open. Out they go, up towards Secret. How many is K-Serato going to get? Warning shot. Nade's going to soften them up a little bit more. They're all shy of that one. 4 players in a corner, and K-Serato, are you going to swing? Ooh, okay, everybody stays alive there to close that one out. 6-5, Vitality back in the lead. And that was with the opening from Art right there. Can see FURIA well aware of what territory they've given up, and you know, they're not just peeling around the corner aimlessly. They're actually trying to work as a team, take back the territory, trade it efficiently, but ZywOo too good in that situation and wins the round with a double kill. Junior and Art back into the double AWPing setup here for the CT side. And a very interesting map for double AWPs. You know, we see, you know, you can AWP ramp. We know that a lot of teams like to do the rifle AWP ramp walk. You know, you can have the AWP outside passive. It could be even in hut if you like. I'm sure JW will be happy to show you how to do that one. But it's always so difficult when you get into the retakes. I know that Art showed us you before. You can do it, but it's much harder to do it that way.
Well, that's what we saw at the lead. That was where these Vitality rounds came from in the first place, right? It was that vulnerability of the lower side. We saw how awkward the retakes were, as you've already described. So they've saved, and they could not really have a better buy. This is a CT setup that most would dream of. Let's see how well it fares.
How long is he going to hang around? Yeah. He really could just park it here for as long as he wants.
And then Apex, who's been waiting outside for his smokes. I suppose if a smoke is
going to be even
thrown...
deeper. Uh-oh.
Shooter playing with fire, doesn't ever peek towards the squeaky, but on his way back in, it is certainly a possibility. They line up their smokes to go again. Junior still posted up. You'll have to keep managing your sight lines here, and it's a bit of aggression from K-Serato to get the party started. ZywOo catches the ramp push. More to be done. K-Serato so lucky to be alive, but they're not expecting the re-aggress. Yuri's now in there as well. Shox is a threat from main. They're so spread out, Chad. He's already in warehouse. The rest of the pack grouping up for ramp. Oh, and this is threatening now. Art, do you really want to re-peek? Yes, he does. Puts it between the wickets. Lots of issues now, very low. 10 HP, and it will be taken from him. Issues for FURIA. They did have one down low site, so they are a bit scattered.
I want to finish top here.
Well, with Shox' position, it's hard not to. Look at Yuri. He's so focused on the main body of the assault that this one comes easy.
Oh, just in the wrong position here. FURIA been juked and around like this. 15 seconds left. The bomb goes on down, and I think it's just saved for Junior and Queserado.
Playing it well.
Yeah, and that was so scrappy, but both teams... Yeah, look, the way that they're reacting is obviously off what they think is going to happen in these scenarios. And fortunately for Vitality, they were the ones who were more than happy to be stoic about it. They didn't just quickly just run off and get multi-fragged. I think that can be one of the problems that you fall into. And one of the problems we did see for them on Vertigo, right? Like after they found a kill, they pushed into an area and then 2 of them died. Whereas here they were happy to string it out, wait for their lurker. And Shox, he's back in business now, 10 kills to his name. Those warning bells, or alarm bells, or any bells, maybe a cat bell, a cow bell. They're not making any more noise right now. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so he's taken down the ramp push of Vinny. That's why the heavy rotate came in. As soon as they take down Art, who was trying to fill that area, ramp is completely evacuated, forced an extra man towards the lower site. It was all the ruse. Vitality with 7, FURIA with 5.
Yeah, I'm always amazed by how alert players are, even when they're not looking in the right direction of the potential fight. Like, you could see Yuri landed a bullet on Shox there.
Yeah.
Like, good grief. And the fact that Zai was putting bullets towards Hut, but immediately ready for the ramp push as well. So some great gaming going on tonight. What we got from Art? Straight up red container. Apex over the top, can dunk on him. Yeah, perfect. Completely scoped up, but the trade is there. If he wanted to challenge over the smokes, Apex would rather just charge straight into the top side. He's not slowing down. Kyojin onto 1. Junior is outside, kept busy though, and Apex just survives. Another round falls by the wayside for FURIA, and it's just with violence.
Yeah, and they actually completely purchased into a round like this. It's 2,400 as the loss bonus for next round. They're not in a great spot financially. They'll have to save again. And it's just by virtue of these quick frags, the space being taken. Apex with the opening was great. I love how he accelerates. You know, he draws so much attention to himself. And that's 8. So Vitality looking great here. We feel like we're set for a third map here today.
Well, yeah, with a 1T half on Nuke, FURIA are going to definitely have to pull up their socks.
Mirage is the third map, if I remember reading rightly. It is. And that is chaos if we get there.
I did love the analyst desk take as well as to one of the many reasons. Nice defense of the M4.
Yeah, Cash is built. So good kills from Vinny, but all in all, it's not of no consequence, but it's a pretty small consequence.
More for his survival than anything else. But
the analyst desk take? Sorry,
yes,
I interrupted
no, you're good. I was watching as well. Analyst desk take. Yeah, the one about, you know, it's indicative of Vitality's confidence in Inferno, that they banned it and would rather play Mirage. Since the departure of Nivera. Like, he was their super sub for Inferno.
That's true. I really like the way that Masuda looked on Mirage yesterday. He was very sharp.
Yeah, I wonder if we get another one of them. That would be great. Oh, Junior brings a spot of aggression into the mix, and what better scalp to find than ZywOo. Towards ramp, Masuda tests the water. Vinny's not boosted, but he's tucked in tight and finds the head. These rounds are determined in the opening 20 seconds, Chad. It's happened again.
Yeah, they get this opening kill, and then everything just seems to peter out. I know we had the 2-on-4 on the pistol round after topside control was taken, but Vitality, they're not working with the same level of space. However...
There's pack rolling mentality.
Yeah, Arch just burnt down to 44. There is an avenue out squeaky door here. It's come down to the timing when it's going to be cleared from the top of Heart. Queserado, he's on the precipice.
And he's gotten down ahead of the smoke. Very loud about it. And Yuri spotted. Apex fancies it, and finds it. Did get dinked. M4 VAK.
They know Shox is down the vent as well, and with 40 seconds left on the clock, he has time to work.
Apex tries. Oh, the bomb didn't go down.
Shox might be able to get it.
Yeah, with the smoke up.
Maybe. Secret mission right here.
Back.
As long as he doesn't... Oh, the sound cue.
Yeah, well, they know what's going on now. I don't know if he's going to go straight for the plant and just hope he's got enough time.
Maybe
it's going to be really close, really close. Well, he'll get the bomb down, and that's going to be an extra prize for a member of the Vitality squad who may have desired it. Looks like they all were pretty set for cash. Kyojin could be dropped by ZywOo, but that is going to close the gap. Still at 1/2, no changing that for the Vitality T side, but Junior bringing a spot of aggression into the mix. And then just like that, 1 minute 20, a 2v4.
I think it's important that Vitality have won the half here. I think that the second half is going to be very difficult, right? We spoke about the heads-up Counter-Strike, the fact that FURIA are just going to run at you and test you in that fashion. So that's where the individuals of Vitality, once we get to this CT side, need to step up in a big way, right? At the moment, it's Zywo at the top with 12, 10 for Shox, 9 for Apex, 6 for Masuda, and 3 for Kyojin. Last round of play here in the first half. Squeaky blown off. Looks like could be a pace change here. Lots of bullets through. And K Serato out on top of the spam. Apex will eventually trade.
Well, at least it's not over yet.
Down.
Yeah, this time.
It's even.
An even trade. Final round of this half.
It's crazy how it doesn't ramp. You can see how Vitality have put the brakes on here, and they're hoping for this FURIA CT-sided aggression. More than happy just to sit and wait just here. Yuri still perched up. Junior having a little bit of a look in towards this yard position now. Might actually get a timing when he's scoping on out. There are smokes to deal with this. They could do a standard wall, the L block, but Shox just wants to jiggle.
Junior hears Flash's yard. Doesn't choose to react.
It's an odd one here. There's a smoke heading over towards yard right now. So it's improvised wall smokes.
And he's got all of this room into topside. Yuri's going to get swung on. And there's no one else here. Just like that, the site is theirs. They pull the strings. They are the puppet masters of round 15. And they have pulled FURIA out of position. Apex can't believe his luck. Catches out on the rotate. Doesn't even look. The one way is out. It's not going to get you far, though, with a position like that from Masuta. Ooh, he's made a bit of a meal of it. There's a little bit of breathing room now. Kyojin's the one to tighten the noose. And there you have it. 9-6, Vitality. Strong control of their map pick and looking to take us to 3 as they battle for playoffs. I love me some highlights, and of course you get to see a little bit of a quick cut of Vitality and FURIA. It's been smiles, it's been desk slams, it's been everything and everything in between.
Oh, there's some sincere smiles in there, isn't there? They don't get those every day of the week. But look, it has been quite the affair. We kicked off with a lot of 1v1s, or at least clutch situations late, and I'm hoping we get more of that. But FURIA, 3 sets of utility going into this pistol. They have to have something in store. And if you've been watching Vitality play since Kyojin's been brought into this team, it's 5 sets of Kevlar on the CT side, and they just push and go for fights. So this one here, it might bang. Squeaky point off.
Biff. Apex is gonna. Ooh, yeah.
He's doing it again.
He's up to his usual antics.
Did they see him this time?
Apex, what are you
up
to? Dude, he's alive! Okay, does go down. Zyu's in the rafters, Masuta on site, and he's found the first fight. Onto Hut, dropping sight now towards the lowers. K-Serato's got the bomb and a very low HP teammate in Yuri. Junior's the unknown entity. He's biding his time on this lobby push, hoping they don't do a deep clear. Kyojin smart, but not smart enough. Does go down. And they want to go back top site. This is very nice from FURIA. They've managed to pull the CTs out of position.
This is quick, though.
Yeah, and Masuta already putting a bullet into Junior's head. That will slow them. And look at ZywOo. Look at him. He's already waiting on the edge of the ladder that if they remolly this, he might try and fight in the flames. He does. Beats it. And beats them both. Just like that, ZywOo pulls another out of the hat.
Crazy how these players, we just see them like on these webcams with their hand off the mouse, off the keyboard, having a conversation in the middle of a round. The bomb goes on down. FURIA, they're going to be happy with that, but this is great stuff from Vitality. I'm just loving how poised they were, because against a team like FURIA, they love the vent, right?
Yeah.
We have art in the roster. They love an up, down, back, forth, left and right.
Damn, Kyojin's jiggle was so tight as well. The fact that Junior was ready to find it. Good stuff, good shooting. And I think we are going to be seeing a third. If we do, I'm just hyped to see how on earth these two ridiculous teams merge on Mirage. We're not there yet. We're not even guaranteed to see it.
Yeah, if we get past this force buy right here, and when I say we, I mean the French, Vitality, they're going to be set up for success. Both teams purchasing on in with everything they've got. Art with an AK, the same for Yuri. Very important round here, and this isn't just the FURIA run at the wall type play. They're actually going to wait out some utility, but Vinny's gone down.
Where? Didn't catch that. That was the ramp fight. Shocks the ramp player. A very important early round advantage. I mean, don't forget, on that first half, we saw it consistently converted. The way these teams play, losing an early man can be a huge degradation of your chances.
So he's about to fade here, so...
Masuta's got to play it safe. He's up against AKs. These MP9s desire those close quarters engagements, which is exactly what they're positioned for. It's a tight setup. Masuta's in a gap. Can't get the frag. Good work from FURIA. 2 frags in response. They've turned a 3v5 into a 4v3, this time in their favor. Apex, yeah, his barrel sticking out. He is. Oh dear, K-Serato. Bit of an oopsie. Art does clean up his mess. It looks like they're already dipping out. Yeah. ZywOo's on yard. He's already holding the S key. Yeah, Shock's receding as well. Looks like they're going to have to bow out of this one from a 5v4. They lost the early man advantage. But FURIA just playing around those vents. You talked about it, those late squeaky smoke plays.
I think Shock's shot all of about 6 bullets in this round. He got a kill, and that's all he can do, right? And it makes a lot of sense holding on to these 2 weapons. It's the 2 biggest guns they brought into this round. It will give them a chunkier force by going into the next. But FURIA, they've got a couple more pages to write in map number 2. Galil, both AKs retained. They'll be able to bolster Vinny and K-Serato if they want to upgrade into 5 rifles. And when you take a little bit of a look at the financial situation for Vitality, it's not going to be an easy buy. So I'm not sure if they just want to... Well, no, of course they are. They're going to go for the all-in.
Oh, son of a gun. That was a funny one. I think he was expecting him to keep wall banging, and he wanted to time it on the reload, and then realized, oh.
He's coming to me. Okay, they will get that buy out. So scout for Apex, pretty standard.
If FURIA hold on to this, they're
back in it.
Completely level.
A bit more early utility to harass this time. Wasn't available to them in the last gun round. You can see the combo of this Hut Molly and the squeaky smoke really helps facilitate the vent drop. You know, a couple of extra nades in through the squeaky towards main. You've almost got yourself a free passage. That's where this map could be determined, just that play around the vents. This is just posturing right here, just waiting for any early aggressive maneuvers. We can see nothing really threatening right now from the Vitality camp. Apex towards Yard with the scout, having a bit of a look in. Molly to keep Squeaky at bay. But the util will be siphoned through very quickly. Apex is the only one with nades left, really.
Vinny awaiting Kyojin's aggression. He knows as soon as he steps another step further on that right side, he will be exposed to a lot more angles. Apex brought down to 1. Kyojin readies himself for the swing and does convert. Quick trades. Weapons are still in play. Masuta's Deagle draws blood. And the bomb. It's out. Slap bang in front of the vents. It can be held. ZywOo's in a position to do so. Missing his shot. Swung on. And just damage onto Junior. Nothing more to report. Softens him up perhaps for Apex Scout. He's already getting the hell out of dodge. Looks like FURIA are going to be pulling this one back. But slight caveat is that that M4 on Shox and that Scout will be maintained. Yeah,
at this point now you know, it's more of a whimper the next round as opposed to what was something threatening like this. This was a force buy from everybody. It will just be these saved rifles if allowed from FURIA, and then it should be an eco, right? The cash situation is not where it needs to be. And FURIA are back in this game. 8th round about to tick up onto the board in about 20 seconds time. And I think the ripcord in a situation like this is either more aggression or less aggression, right? So you're either going to see them start turtling up, being much more passive, playing for the lower bomb site immediately to, if somebody does get down the vent, just kill them before they can run too much of a muck. Or once they do get down the vent, just know that Art or whoever is down there and take fights elsewhere as a unit. Allow him just to sit on his lonesome. 2,400 loss bonus in the next round. Pistols being tossed across. ZywOo's at least been granted a P250. But we did see one saved M4 have a huge impact in map number 1. Junior found himself very aggressive towards that A ramp of Vertigo and 3 huge kills. So let's see what Shox can do with his. So utility towards that top side again. Bullets through, doing a bit of damage. Masuda tickled on down to 81. FURIA, they're not going for the throat right here. They're just taking their time about this. Shox will be coming up secret with the M4.
Yeah, both of their weapons are Yard, and there's no one to receive them. So ZywOo knows the knife trick. In a position to get those backstabs. Kyojin uses his body to bait shots. Oh, and that's the wave of frags they were waiting for. This is why you're hesitant. Flurry of 4 frags, and the Tracer fires enough from Shox's M4 to ensure nothing is maintained. And as the fist bumps are exchanged, FURIA, 1 round separating them from tying this one up even.
Yeah, and I think Vitality, when they go for a buy like this, because they're going to be missing a couple of key bits of utility, or there might not be a defuse kit, or somebody might have a FAMAS, they need to make sure that this CT-sided gun round, everybody's on board with the plan, with the play. How are we going to react? Where are we going to take the fight? What are we expecting to come on through?
It's a big one here. Lot on the line. Can FURIA completely equalize? They're bringing in a bit of pace, but ZywOo greets them with bullet. Tries for the repeat. Masuta's fully blind. Does convert off the back of it. Art with at least 1. Keeps it relatively level. Could change it a moment's notice as Kyojin spots out Hut. Art's down decon and no one's rotated down. Ooh, Apex. Oh, just threads himself into a defensive stance.
He's so noisy though. They've heard him.
2 to deal with. Finds Junior nicely. Art called low in dark. He wants to finish it, and he does. Apex with a lot of impact on the defense here, and only Yuri giving it all she's got, Captain. Doesn't need to move, but will he? Apex, that is. Tugs in even further.
Oh, the timing. The Counter-Strike timing. What a nightmare there for Yuri. Still gets the kill.
know he's low. You can see ZywOo even with the USP for his peak.
They don't want to give away another kill here. They can't really afford to. And there it is, that USP you were talking about finishes off the job. 11 now for Vitality. The money is still great for FURIA, but you can see, right, on those rounds where they knew they were up against low buys, it was the same entry utility. Squeaky gets blown off, Molotov top heart, Molotov into main. It looks the same. So then when they go and throw it in and around like this and they're actually committing behind it, that's where Vitality need to be ready to deal with it, and they were. 3 players alive means guns can be dropped. Great round from Apex, saved the day there. Maybe another fast play from FURIA. Vinny only invested into 1 smoke as opposed to extra utility, so tells me something's up.
Yeah, Arm wants to get some more speed. Oh, another chance. And another death for Masuta on the top side. Kyojin tested. It's only 1. Vinny's the one to provide the red pen. Okay, now that bomb is already planted and it's unable to be contested initially. It seems very, very up for debate as to whether or not Vitality will even go for this. You can see dropping out, not interested in that retake.
This is rough that they're going to save again.
It is, but I mean, it's just a product of those early frags. The fact he's pushing the molly and Masuta twice now on his duel, like we saw when we were watching Astralis' CT side. I didn't know how he was doing it, but Magisk would consistently deter any of those fast squeaky plays through crosshair placement, spray, and his teammates' support. Poor Masuta has been doing a flashbang dance and dying every time FURIA have even considered a squeaky aggress.
Yeah, and this is where RPK and the top side of old might get you the 2 that you're talking about, right? So by having the 2, I don't want to call Masuta a rookie anymore. He's been doing this for a year now, so that's not the case. But the 2 younger lads here, one of them needs to step up in a big way, or they need to put more bodies into that top side because, as mentioned, FURIA are throwing so much util at just getting control, or at least suggesting they're getting control of that squeaky door / vent area. Now, Vitality, yeah, there's timeout. They have to talk through exactly what you and I were just discussing here because it's the top side that's really feeling the punishment. But this is where, if you're FURIA, you mix things up. You throw the exact same utility that you have been. Maybe you drop a player down the vent. Everybody else, maybe yard down to secret. And at that point, Vitality have to question, well, what are we going to do? Because all of this that we're discussing is the exact same conversations that are going on right now in this 30-second freeze time.
Do you need help, or can we account for the top side this round?
Yeah, and you know when you have teammates who go, yeah, I just missed my shot, or, you know, when you hear that coming out of players in this level, you still have to make the adjustment, right? It can't just be as simple as, yeah, I missed my shot. You have to make sure that you're adjusting at least, because if you miss your shot again, you lose another key round.
But also, you may be lulled into the idea that it was just your shot, but there could be more components that are leading to your death than you may realize at the time, in the heat of the moment. Look at Vinny. Look at him go. He's doing it again. Straight in, and the B defense is rattled. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Bodies are dropped. The top site's open. And the round is closed. Oh, the pre-fire even catching Apex. He can't do anything about this. A is theirs. And another save. In the first 15 seconds of play, Vinny just charges onto A.
They should hunt this time. There's enough leftover cash right here for FURIA to at least put 1 or 2 bodies after these saved, or potentially saved rifles of Vitality.
So they are bullying Masuta and Kyojin. There is no denying it now. We've just seen it again. Yeah. FURIA clearly has an intention to punish until they're stopped.
And now there will be weaknesses elsewhere, because if you're Vitality, you can't let this keep happening. You have to adjust, right? You have to look at where the loss bonus is at. I think we have 2,400 for them coming into the next round. It's going to be enough for them to drop Famuses if they would like.
You know, like if I was talking to you prior to this game and I said, what is the, you know, what is it that makes a good CT side top hold? How do you hold that A site off the start? You'd say, well, incendiaries are a great place to start, right?
Yeah.
Well, Masuta and Kyojin are throwing mollies. They are doing your standard stuff, but FURIA have accounted for that and are pushing off the back of it.
Yeah, they're fighting on the 2 players dropping out of heaven, right? And the problem that they're having here is either the 3rd man, which is the main player, is locked out of the fight. You can see the main player smoked off. He can't do anything. So all they need to do is focus on these 2 top site players. So unfortunately, I think what Vitality have to do in this situation is put an extra body there, either through heaven or through that main position, and they just have to fight and go all in. Because if the 2 top players keep dying like that, they're going to lose the round regardless. So just more bodies. This time it's a fake. They're going ramp.
It's very threatening. And yeah, Shock spots them, communicating wildly. Some nade damage chipping away at FURIA, but they're descending fast towards the low site. 2 CTs already positioned to deal with it. Shox has them above his head. Oh, a real chance. Art doesn't check him, but Shox doesn't do the dirty. He needed to get a frag there. Oh, and it collapses for them now.
Yeah, all those saves out the window. They've lost almost everything here. ZywOo, again, out of the action. You know, the AWPer is meant to be one of the most reactive parts of the CT defense, and he's about to be dead meat. Art with the knife. Oh, no, Art, you are not nice at all.
Oh, dear. Vitality are already salty.
Oh, he's just spamming the body.
Yeah, he is plunging Vitality into the salt mines now. Ooh.
Yeah. The scare that Art must, that Zawu must have got as he swung around there.
Yeah, and he looked a bit like a TF2 spy as well as he like strafed around to get that second backstab.
Oh dear. This is starting to hurt a bit for Vitality. It is. It's very early days with Kyojin, right? Like, the desk are going to let them off the hook, right? But as we focus in on this game and obviously what it means to all the players in the server right here, Vitality, they want to win this. It doesn't matter about the circumstances. They want to win. Oh, oh no. Oh, Art. Well, 18 for Art in this one.
You rarely see when they turn, you rarely see the low HP knifer actually convert, but Zawu doesn't seem too miffed.
He never looks flustered, does he?
Probably already thinking about how he wants to get his revenge. But let's see, will FURIA find the opening frag and the round in the opening 20 seconds? It's been a disaster for Vitality so far.
This is the type of round where they might take a few more risks though, Alex. Take a look at the buy from Vitality. They've done a half purchase, right? So you can see there's upgraded pistols, an MP9, a couple of sets of Kevlar. They might take a few more risks, and maybe that's what's needed against FURIA here. Very quiet stuff. Not a single sound.
Why do I have
made.
a sneaking suspicion they're just about to walk topside again? All right, Masuta, Kyojin. Shox is the third component of this. And they're going ramp. They're going ramp. It's wide open. Zawu's not there yet. Vinny, just the tiniest of shoulder peaks. Draws fire. Zawu can't return. Art's already caught one. The bodies are dropping all over the place. Go on, Kyojin. 2, nearly 3. Yuri's there. And the round will fall apart. Apex, he was heard dropping the vents a long time ago, and now with his back turned. Oh, I can't believe his luck. FURIA at 13. They could finish this right here. They want to knock Vitality out of DreamHack Masters Spring. And they're just 3 rounds away from doing it. You know, we started that conversation of Mirage because there was a very high likelihood, given Vitality's map pick and a 1T side, that Nuke was about to be a lockdown. So far, FURIA have thrown so much fire the way of Vitality. They are panicking for an extinguisher.
This will likely be the last real gun round Vitality get unless they start winning some rounds here.
How do you activate Zawu when the rounds are over before he even gets to fire a bullet?
He needs to go and take the fight, and unfortunately you can't really predict where the fight's coming at the moment.
No. Oh, Junior was pre-aiming on the Masuta swing. That could have been it. Still actively holding this squeaky door, and understandably so.
See, the thing is, Zawu's over towards ramp. He's out of this rounds, right? He's only going to be needed if they come his way or they lose a key component and he has to rotate.
Their adaption, you know how you highlighted they'll probably put another man in, is Zawu ramp, Shox topside, and Apex solo for Yard, and that is a gap. Masuta's gone down, now vulnerable as well. They know Masuta's holding squeaky typically. Kyo's set up, as is Shox on the CT vent. Crossfire established, it's a potent one. But as time passes, Pat, there's potential for Shox to just overextend. He's got the smoke, he's got the molly. He needs to use his bullets. Here comes the pressure. Into the top side. K-Sarato's already out T-Vent, responsible for Heaven. Now the Hut players can work their magic. Shox with the magic wand, but the defense from Yuri keeps him safe. And another headshot put on the feed. Kyojin goes unchecked. The power of the third man maybe could be enough to turn the tides. It's 1v2 now. Looking to come up clutch. They double peak and FURIA snatches 14. Vitality running out of options here, Chad, as you highlighted. That's the last perfect buy we'll be seeing out of them unless they can make this work with the 3.4 to 4.3 on the high end.
Yeah, so look, they can get the guns out, but there are going to be emissions. You're not going to see the Zawu AWP again. I think that might even be the last Zawu AWP we see here on Nuke. And it didn't actually get a chance to get anything done. And I was really worried about Shox that entire time because there were still mollies left over. I thought he was probably going to get mollied out of position before he even had a chance to shoot. You can see Apex frustrated, always wears his heart on his sleeve right there. And yeah, you can say, look, it's going to take some time for this team to get back to its highest form, its best level after replacing somebody like RPK. But of course, they want to win.
Yeah, but to be posting 80 rounds to Vitality's 2 CT rounds, this is a great resuscitation of Furia's attack.
They won pistol as well, right? And that's where you really just have to ask yourself, Vitality, they've won in this series all 4 pistols so far. Right, it's the gun rounds.
That's a Listerine face moment, isn't it?
Yeah, when you look at it that way, has been a rough going. Been some glimmers of hope. But here they go again. ZywOo onto the scout instead of the AWP, and it might just be one punishment towards this top side. Lots of nades thrown. Art leading the charge ramp. Are they going to go through the molly? Of course they are.
They are. Shox has a real chance here, but they are so sharp, and the spray isn't quite there enough. Keeps it 4v4. Apex is tucked in. Will they check him? Oh, he gives him the fight, and again the even trades. The rotate's there. Masuta swings the door open. He'll be stared at by Furia now. Double smoke, and he wants to push on it. Oh, you brave boy. Such damage, no frags. Can't find any lethality. That was a real opportunity, but he has softened him up for ZywOo's scout. Make no mistake, that damage could very well still have ramifications into the Furia's pursuit of 15 here. ZywOo's going around the world, stops the lobby rotate back. Junior's pushed into the site, so it's very indicative that they plan to go for this. Kyojin's got to keep his cool here, working with one of the best. At 45 seconds, Furia just cutting noise. I think Keserato got spotted. Completely free information for Kyojin here. And he pips the gap on Yuri's hold. He can't deny the plant, but he could catch Junior. Could, does. Now the door can swing open. ZywOo, Keserato's full health. He'd need a headshot. Does whittle away. Tagged up now on Dark. Very low. USP out. Wants to finish the job. ZywOo recovers the M4. This is very promising. No kit, though. He'd need the headshots to save Vitality. Finds the first and the second. ZywOo with his red cape on. The hero Vitality need.
To the absolute rescue right there. Well handled by Vitality in the late stages. The two of them just staying calm, and when the round was presented them, able to convert a couple of nice ones, but a 1-on-2 under pressure, and ZywOo gets it done. It's great trading here.
Can I just talk about Masuta's bravery as well? Like, this, yeah, it could have been 2. Could have.
He did a lot of damage, right? This is what has set ZywOo up here to finish off these 2 frags. You have to consider, though, in that situation, he wants to swing out so they don't lose track of them, because they've so heavy rotated. So you can sit there and go, oh, should he have pushed? Well, you never know where Furia are going to end up. So a risk from Masuta almost paying off, and they still get the round. So I suppose in a way it did.
Well, they're battered and bruised. They've got black eyes and broken legs. Vitality trying to stand strong. As is Shox on ramp, very short-lived. ZywOo's rotate cut off by Flame. He peeks regardless and takes down Art. Head of the snake and more. In fact, the whole snake throwing itself in towards ramp, and Fury got nothing to show for it. Shox wants info. 10 HP on him. He might want to play a bit safe. They have the bomb, no less.
This is one of those situations where, because Shox is low and Apex is half health, you might want to just let them pick up the bomb. You have a huge number advantage. You can plug all the gaps. You can make sure that they're unable to escape from too far in the lobby, maybe even pushing around towards that ladder base. And the longer that you just let them stew and sit and wait to pick up this bomb, this is time that they think that you're keeping eyes on it. Smoke's faded. Minute 5 on the clock. And now they begin the mission of picking up the package. And look how worried they are that somebody's close.
Yeah, this is the power of cutting noise. Disappear, and let the paranoia do all of that time rotting for you. All right, well, that's the retrieval, and that's the lockout util. They're trying to channel them topside, and it's working. Kyojin hasn't pushed up too much. He's just been intermittently checking for the squeak push. ZywOo has help. And they return to lobby at 25 seconds. This might just be a case of waiting and this one out. They've got so much cash though, dude. Give her a whack. Cut them down to size a little. 15 seconds as they just return to lobby, and yeah. Not a single frag to report for round 27.
Yeah, I suppose they don't want to give up any more AKs, but I think that it's Kyojin, the only one who really needs an upgrade here. Masuta as well. I think they might be left on these Famises. So all in all, Furia, they walk away with the saved guns. They already have a boatload of cash. And we're going towards ramp. It's that round definitely was their undoing, right? They were just stopped at the door. You know, they knocked, they were trying to sell something, they were told to bugger off, and we might just see them head back towards that top hit. But this is where the mind games come in, because they had such a great time trading out top onto Kyojin, onto Masuta. You've spoken about Shox being over there as the third man. This is where we question, how did Vitality deal with this? They know what they were losing against. FURIA know what was working.
Yuri's looking real trim as well. I think he's been hitting the gym in this the pandemic special.
The pandemic special. It's the special that never ends.
Well, nothing else to do. You're just sitting at home. You can only watch so much Counter-Strike streams before you may as well do something else.
You could do both at the same time if you really wanted.
That's the Chad Birchall, they call it. Staring at his phone while he does his hip thrusts. It's just hip thrusts you do, right?
Yeah, just hip thrusts.
Hip thrusts and calf raises.
Yeah. Nothing for the upper body.
No. Just the glutes.
All right, well. Speaking of glutes, squeaky bum time here. 14-13, round 28.
Oh, I thought he was giving it a little bit more of that flair. We've seen them keep that pace up. Art does want to go down vent or perhaps just boost up. Oh, yes, they think about it. Set K-Serato to clear the rafters. It's a very potent position, but no one's home. Masuta and Kyojin wise to their tricks.
They're pinned though, aren't they?
Loud. Oh, Kyojin caught out. Just a Vinny swing. Now Masuta's faffing around with his nades. The flank from Shox is everything just to slow him down, and it enables Masuta as well to catch Vinny in response. Shots. Art's there. Traded by ZywOo, but quick as well as K-Serato to the trigger. Oh, God, that's a nasty one. Takes the gap. Pips the gap completely. They think he's lobby. And the element of surprise is huge. Does trigger discipline a moment longer. Enables him to drop in, and now can anticipate K-Serato's lobby. He's walking up. He wants to fight now, just as he tickles. Oh! What a shot from Shox! Whew. Pulls Vitality back from the brink. We equalize. 14-14. Just dusting off his shoulder. That one came out of nowhere, dude. K-Serato played it to perfection, just as he was going for the tickle.
Yeah. What a wild
Doesn't even matter. Let's see that one again, because Shox, yeah, for sure the first one, he had them booked. They both were looking lobby, but he's on the...
Oh, come on now.
What's the opposite of getting CSGO'd? What is the opposite of being CSGO'd? I don't even know.
Oh, how does that one even happen? Okay.
It's a headshot, Chad. A headshot.
We're guaranteed all 30 now.
Bloody hell.
Okay. Well, it's about time. That's the Shox special right there. He's done that a couple times the last few days. Pushes up radio, gets a kill, swings back ladder, and clutches out a huge round. So the disappearing act playing a big part in a huge round right there, but both teams have all the goodies.
Dude, think about the round Vitality of 1 to fend off 15. ZywOo 1v2, Shox 1v2. The tiniest of margins keeping Vitality in it. And if you were looking at like the lifeline of Vitality appropriately, they've been close to coding out a couple of times here. Fast. Yeah, Art wants it.
Back to the top.
It's worked for him before. Slinks into main and goes on the flash. He's so smart. Look at them. Blind as a bat, and already they hurt. Too much. 3 frags in the same amount of seconds. There's mollies all over the shop. The round is lost. Apex and Shox don't even get to voice their concerns.
Yeah, the demon of this top side is going to haunt Vitality in this game, just not being able to hold on to it whatsoever. Oh, and I think the same can be said for these two rifles they want to save. Shox, they know where he is now. Not allowing any late maneuvers in here this time is Junior. Well, Apex is definitely going to get away with his rifle here. Shox has dropped into the lower side as well. Bomb's going to go off. Art is coming. He's going to get there. No. All right. Well, FURIA, they get to 15 first, but the way that this game's been going, it really could be overtime.
Well, yeah, you say that, Chad. It does look like they've got pocket lint and paper clips to defend their honor here. It was certainly no warp. Kyojin's on bloody 1900. I think he's only been able to stomach a 5-7. Does actually get dropped to treats, so everyone's in a relatively good position. The complexion isn't terrible.
ZywOo hooked him up there last minute, so they made this one work.
Surely they don't just try the top side blow up again.
I mean, it's the only thing that's worked.
Yeah, if it ain't broke.
Here we go.
Vinny on his way for straight through the flames. It's extinguished this time, and Masuta caught and reacts. Another required. K-Serato lives on. Problems now for FURIA. A slight man advantage for the defense, and not the space they're used to getting off the same util. Look at Junior. He's entry fragging right now with a scope. And it could catch him. Sitting duck. ZywOo quite to find, and they are ready to put them on the vents. You can't get greedy, Apex. You just can't. He tries it. Tries his luck, and it works. A distraction at least. And double nades from Shox. It's enough. OT looms. Yuri could, with a 1 HP and a dream, finish it here in regulation. He's got 60 seconds to piece the puzzle together. Apex and Shox would need to be fully pantsed, either missing all of their shots or not even getting a chance to pull the trigger, because Yuri cannot take a point of damage. Now, they will understandably play this safe. They will allow him to retrieve that bomb. I say that, though. However, Shox is in a pretty prime position to catch that on a jiggle. Door's blown off.
Yeah, it's quite wide there. Bomb just in front of that vent.
Does he have any util? A single flash. He could deploy it towards Shox's position. Smoke grenade. Gonna draw the attention of Shox, and the bomb does get retrieved. But this plant, this is where things get a little difficult. Shox should have timing, especially given the fake. He might even call the bluff on this one. Now the molly's been released, he can start the walk. Oh, it's perfect. In the blind spot, Yuri would need a one-shot headshot. Not to be. And we're off to OT. Guarantee. My goodness. Vitality fighting for survival. FURIA, it looked like it was theirs at the start of this one. Solid defense in the end. And now MR3 16K to dig our teeth into. Well, Shock certainly did bounce back. We were talking about his underperformance on Virgo, barely breaking 6 frags. Well, now top of the scoreboard alongside ZywOo. So experience definitely playing a part in his revival and a crucial component of what was quite the comeback, Chad.
Yeah, stepped up in a big way, had some massive clutches there as well, and all in all, the smiles are now on Shox' face. Is that going to be enough to get Vitality across the line here? Because there's more than just the playoffs for DreamHack Masters Spring on the line. If they can win this matchup here, lock themselves in for IEM Cologne and the play-in. So, something to keep in mind.
It's going to take some getting used to. IEM Cologne. Straight out. Smoke on main. Denies a lot. ZywOo spray does chip away. And the nade exchange continues. Yo, ZywOo's getting tested here on the flash. His back is turned and he's not dead. How is he not dead? He's kept safe. Masuta, the bodyguard. And this overtime round has just collapsed.
I just had a realization that slapped me in the face like a wet fish. Have we seen any outside smoke walls at all from FURIA?
Not one. Not one. Good point.
Did they just play an entire T-half of Nuke without a yard smoke wall?
Yeah, and got 9 rounds.
Yeah, okay. Well, Junior left in a 1-on-5. He's found the first.
You know, he probably needs a 1v5 in his career at some point.
Everybody does.
Everyone needs one. It's actually really funny how low that 1v5 stat is for some of the bigger names. You know, like it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
Like a hole-in-one in golf.
Yeah, like even up to a more rare extent. You know, I'd argue even less common.
What about like a perfect game in bowling?
That's good. Yeah, like the 300 or whatever it is.
I just keep getting the strike.
Look at this. This is what I was talking about. I couldn't believe the Suta kept him alive as they swung straight over ZywOo. So they obviously had their responsibilities ironed out for the take. And putting ZywOo on top side, that's one way to shut them down.
I think he's giggling at the big glob of spit that just came out of his mouth. Yep. He's getting fired up there. But the emotions at an all-time high here. The top rush, it didn't work. Vitality have stopped them again. 2 consecutive rounds.
You wouldn't try it again though, right? This time it is broke. And Art's got down the vents. That's loud, it's audible. ZywOo may not have heard it as he unloaded his mag, and they've all got down. Even the AWP has taken the route down. Apex was there, but Shox has to do it all now. They're all walking in that blind spot from Decon. Oh, this is a perfect round from FURIA. Look how easy it looks. Like, why bother, Chad? Why bother using outside smokes? That's such a long route.
We can get there quicker.
You idiots.
We just dropped down the vent.
Just use the vents every time without dying somehow against a world-class team. That could be a skybox, couldn't it? Just what FURIA used to get down the vents.
Well, they definitely make it look way too easy, don't they, right? We talk about before how Squeaky gets blown open, right? That smoke that limps in front of the vent, but there's the molly on top of the hut. There's the flashes through the windows. There's all the harassing nades into main.
It used to be a case of you can't do that when someone's main because they would spray. How many times did we see someone just spraying that corner of the vent and killing 3 people?
Yeah, so it's about like what type of utility they're dropping in there because like a HE, a Molotov, and a flash, right? That's going to do all 3 jobs. Damage if they want to stand in the flames, they're going to die. Flash so they can't see exactly where they're aiming. There's a lot of bits of utility that FURIA are throwing at this.
1, 2, 3.
It's like they're dry running it.
Oh, there's a change. The AWP has lost his life. Just a blind one from ZywOo straight through. So it's the same util of the vent drop, but no one's down. That's the change.
Boost again. Well, they're both going to creep through the smoke. Is it a nutmeg or is it a flash and go? Smoke is faded, waiting for the fights. Re-smoke's in, they're ahead of it. Way ahead of it. Kyojin, oh, he's done well, or at least his teammate has. Masuta puts up 2. This is the kind of performance you need from your topside defender. 3 in total. Masuta tested twice in overtime, and he leaves with Vitality 2-1 on to in pursuit of taking us to a 3rd map. You can see 1st to 19 there on your screens. That's crazy how all those rounds went, right? We had so many clutch scenarios within that first half. 4 players alive on round 1, 5 players alive on round 2, 4 players alive on round 3. So it was just those opening kills, and the rounds were pretty much done and dusted. This is some quick Counter-Strike here out of both of these squads, and now FURIA, they're on the defense. They have to defend against the pace. Squeaky naded open. It's been a while since Vitality have been on the T side. Probably just reminded themselves how this one feels. It's been a while since we've seen Yard, and, well, Vitality aren't heading there either. Trying to give him a taste of their own medicine. Keserato can't believe his luck. He receives at least 1. Distraction, shocks onto the other. Looking good for this topside defense. It's all Yuri. Keserato is nothing more than a very deadly distraction. Nice shots from ZywOo, and nade right on his nose. The wallbang could have committed to it. He does tag up and reveal Keserato's position, so he knows where 2 of the 3 are.
And can probably operate under the assumption that he could have isolated that duel. Good shot. Keiserato pulls it across the line. It was all Yuri, though. Does what Masuta did as well. So, 17-17.
Quiet 33 from Keiserato here.
A quiet one.
I think it was 29 in regulation. He's having a field day out there on Nuke. There's been a lot of action towards this top site. And that was the shot right there to finish things off. So 17-17 all tied up here. 19 is the magic number. 18-18, and we do it all again. Shock's going towards Yard.
So French. Ah, magnificent. Or as they say, magnifique.
Might actually get a bit of a different look of a round here. Not just a top explode, not just a top rush.
Because you see Shocks?
Yeah, he's lurking towards that Yard position, and he was key in taking some real estate late, because we know how quick Furia were to rotate around the map. Smoke towards Squeaky will deny any more presence. Shock's now with the jump peak starting to get a bit of traction towards Yard, but there are no eyes at all on outside. Nobody watching towards heaven, nobody watching anything. Shox has all the liberties in the world for himself right here, right now.
They want to try it. Keiserato and Yuri are on site. Oh, they're not checking
clearing.
it. They didn't check it, and it's going to be a good first. Swinging now, Kyojin Khan. Masuta low, even lower now, and the round dissolves. Solid hold. Double kills respectively. And now Furia do have series point, just the one. Otherwise, we do it all over again. Vitality, their T-side, they did manage to accrue a solid lead. It was a 9-6 half as they opened up on their map pick, but Furia can take their map pick away from them right here, right now, and the Raw demonstrates exactly what both you and I, as well as Furia, are aware of. 5 frags separating them from DreamHack Masters Spring Playoffs. Bit more spice outside Yard. Furia do criminally under-defend it.
It's just wild that we've had this game of Nuke and Yard is really, I don't want to say underutilized, it just hasn't been the focus.
Yeah.
They haven't needed that to draw rotations or get success in rounds either way. But putting the brakes on here, Vitality, and you'd hate for the clock to be their undoing. Getting picked apart by this junior AWP could also be a thorn in their side. Furia have already siphoned through a big chunk of their utility. Whereas Vitality, they've held on to bucket loads. We're looking at smokes, Molotovs, plenty of flashes here. Is about to be lobbed on out. There's a minute and 5 left on that clock.
Apex having a lot to say.
Yeah, I think they're deciding what smoke wall they want to go for, so reposition now. I think this is the L block.
It's funny, because I think Art can probably hear that smoke lineup from Apex.
Oh, the L block's landed, and now I suppose they will have to worry about that lower rotation, but they're trying to luck at ramp again. Smoke to deny, I was ahead of it.
Yeah, he smoked Junior off. He can lurk out to hunt Vinny. Oh, he's got it. So it's a lot of threat. It's enough to get them nervous and not gonna be Shox' day. Yuri's ready for it. And Yuri's doing more than enough. Finally, ZywOo puts his name in the feed. Needs a second. Keiserato denies. They're 1 frag away. Just Apex. And Keiserato does it all. What a performance from him. And Furia are off to the playoffs. They send Vitality down. 37 from Keiserato. A whole lot of impact. We'll be taking it down and breaking it down over at the desk. We'll be right back.